when I first started, I just thought, well, I'll try this one, I'll try that one. And now I'm more selective about using real places and things, but making them a little more abstract by being a little too close to them, or a little cut off, or not seeing the bottom of the building, just the top corner, making it more in a way that people don't look at them usually.
So, start by saying a little bit about yourself, like who you are and where you're from.
Well, I'm from here in Montreal. Currently, I'm a painter. I've always been interested in computer animation and everything like that, but I needed something else. I needed almost the opposite, to try and do something that was just truly manual, just me and my fingers and a board. But I use photography, for instance, in my work as references. When I scout, I go around. It's like an adventure. When I pick a building to paint or something, or a street, I go back several times and I take a lot of photos, and then I use those to create my paintings.
What was your childhood like as a Montrealer?
It was interesting, because I lived a little north near an amusement park, an old amusement park. And I remember it was always fun to go hang around near the amusement park and see it was a very tidy neighborhood where I lived, but there was something a little shady, a little less tidy in the amusement park. and so that was interesting, because I started noticing that there was these less tidy places to go to, less clean, less perfect. So it was interesting to me to always go towards those areas. And so I grew up around there in a kind of a suburb. But I was always attracted to things that were more downtown, I guess.
When did you start painting?
Only about 5 years ago that I started painting. But all my life, since my teens, I was always drawing, doodling, making cartoons, comic strips. I got involved as teenagers. Back in those days, this is how old I am, in Super 8 movies, 16mm movies, because video was just not very common or easy to use back then. But when it did start to become more available, I started doing videos, and so I was evolving always in the sense of doing graphic design and amateur videos, amateur films, things like that. So there's always something visual going on, always photography a little on the side, some logo design, some cartoons, some filmmaking, always in that kind of visual, usually a story or a sense of a story connected to it. Even in a still image, there would be something, and I hope something like that sometimes comes through in my paintings, is that there's just something happening that it just happened or is about to happen, maybe. Something like that.
What are your sources of motivation and inspiration?
Well, the main part of my inspiration is my city, Montreal, because when I started deciding, I should start painting. I should just see what happens, just try. I immediately knew it would have something to do with city surfaces, city walls, city streets, sidewalks, and imagery, signs, things like that. So, that was almost immediate. It was my decision to kind of start looking at, because I'd always been attracted to that kind of that surface of things as abstract almost, the way a sidewalk meets the street, the way the line in the sidewalk starts to veer off in a crack or something. I can't explain why I'm attracted to that, but that's sort of thing. The way a bright orange cone on a gray day is just like eye-popping on the street, And there's no shortage of those in Montreal, as you know, of orange cones.
Which one of your paintings do you love the most?
It's hard to say, I have my favorites that for some reason they're like an idea favorite, and sometimes it's the accomplishment favorite. Like that turned out well, so it becomes one of my favorites. Or maybe that one didn't technically work out as good, but the idea, I like that idea of that painting. But I don't have one favorite, you know. You can sort of judge that they're all kind of isolated objects or corners of things and buildings and surfaces.